Have you ever loved someone who loved you back, but somehow there was never enough of them left for you? Not because they didn't care, not because they wanted to hurt you, but because life kept taking pieces of them until all they had left was whatever remained. That's the question that inspired my newest novel, Whatever Was Left. This isn't a story about heroes and villains. It's about ordinary people trying to survive their own brokenness. A mother fighting to rebuild her life. A grandmother carrying secrets she's protected for years. A brilliant teenage girl who keeps waiting for her mother to choose her. And a younger brother who unknowingly receives the version of their mother his sister always dreamed of having. Sometimes the deepest wounds aren't caused by cruelty. Sometimes they're caused by absence, by missed moments, by empty chairs at important events, by promises that are forgotten, by realizing that someone else always seems to come first. If you've ever wondered why certain childhood memories still affect you decades later, this story asks a difficult question. Can someone truly love you and still leave scars that last a lifetime? Marlow Prater is 16 years old, intelligent, observant, and already carrying questions most adults would rather avoid. At the beginning of the story, she stands alone outside her school holding an academic achievement certificate. The ceremony is over. The parking lot is almost empty. Her mother was supposed to be there. But once again, Marlow is left waiting. When her mother finally arrives, she has an explanation. There is always an explanation. Her younger brother's basketball practice ran late. His coach needed to talk. His schedule came first. And in that moment, Marlow finally says what she has carried for years. Her mother got clean for her brother, not for her. Her brother received practices, rides, encouragement, and someone cheering from the stands. Marlow received whatever energy and attention were still available after everyone else had been taken care of. And she tells her mother the truth. I got whatever was left. Marlow's story is not simply about being ignored. It is about watching her mother become the person she always needed, but for someone else. Her younger brother, Gentry, is talented, driven, and deeply loved. His basketball schedule is taped to the refrigerator. Practices are planned. Games are attended. Hotels are booked. His victories are celebrated. And Marlow watches all of it. She loves her brother. That is what makes the pain more complicated. She is not jealous of his talent. She does not want him to lose what he has. She only wants to understand why there was never the same urgency for her, why her achievements were met with silence, why her invitations were forgotten, why she learned to stop trying out for things because no one was watching anyway. The novel explores a painful truth. Sometimes a child does not stop dreaming because they lack ability. Sometimes they stop because dreaming hurts when nobody shows up. That is what Marlow has learned to do. She lowers her expectations before anyone else can disappoint her. She tells herself she does not care, but underneath that distance is still a young girl waiting for someone to choose her. One of the things that fascinated me while writing this novel is that no one believes they are the villain. Lacey, Marlow's mother, genuinely loves both of her children. She isn't cruel, she isn't heartless. She's a woman trying to rebuild a life after addiction. She's trying to make up for lost time. The tragedy is that while she's giving everything she has to one child, she never realizes what the other child is experiencing. That happens more often than we want to admit. Parents become overwhelmed. Life becomes complicated. One child quietly needs less attention until one day they stop asking. Not because they stop needing love, but because they stop believing anyone would notice. That is one of the quietest heartbreaks in this story. Not abuse, not abandonment, simply years of becoming invisible. Reva, Marlow's grandmother, is another complicated part of this story. She is the person who showed up. She cooked the meals. She ironed the good shirt. She made Marlow feel expected when she walked through the door. But Reva is not perfect either. She carries her own weakness, her own drinking, her own secrets, and her own guilt about decisions made years earlier. That matters because whatever was left is not built around simple characters. Reva can love Marlow deeply and still fail her. She can protect her and still hide the truth. She can be the safest person in Marlow's life and still be part of the reason that life became so complicated. That is one of the central ideas in the novel. People are rarely only one thing. The person who comforts you may also be the person who disappointed you. The person who saved you may also be the person who kept something important from you. Love can be real and broken at the same time. Marlow begins to understand that as she starts looking closer at the people around her. She realizes that every silence has a history, every excuse has a cost, and every family has a version of the truth it has agreed not to say out loud. There is another person at the center of Marlow's memories, Emmett. He was not her biological father. He did not have to choose her, but he did. He made pancakes with her on Sunday mornings. He let her crack the eggs even when she got shell in the bowl. He asked her real questions and waited for the answers. He treated her like she mattered. For Marlow, that made him different from almost every other adult in her life. He was the first person who seemed to choose her simply because he wanted to. And then he was gone. A wreck on Route 60 took him away and changed the course of the entire family. His death did more than create grief. It created silence. Questions were left unanswered. Memories became fragmented. The adults decided what Marlow should know and what she should not. And once again, she received only the part that remained after everyone else had taken what they needed. Years later, one of Emmett's old flannel shirts becomes a connection to the life Marlow almost had. A small piece of proof that at least once someone saw her, someone chose her, someone believed she was worth showing up for. Gentry could have been written as the spoiled younger brother, but that would have made the story too easy. He did not create the imbalance in the family. He inherited it. He is talented, ambitious, and surrounded by adults who believe his future depends on constant attention. But he also notices more than anyone realizes. He sees the difference in how Marlow is treated. He sees how often she is expected to adjust. He sees how her needs disappear beneath his schedule. And eventually, he refuses to accept it. Before an important basketball tournament, Gentry tells his mother that he will not go unless Marlow is invited too. He is willing to risk the very thing everyone has built around him because he knows something is wrong. That moment matters because Marlow has spent years believing that no one sees her. Then her younger brother does. He does not fix the family. He does not erase the past. But he names the unfairness and refuses to benefit from it silently. Sometimes the first step toward healing is not an apology. Sometimes it is simply hearing someone say, "I see what happened to you, and it was not fair."